How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome back to Arcanum Gaming. My name is Richie. Today we're back with another episode of Foolish Mortals. So, after being thrown from a balcony at Belmore Manor by Ghost Bride Murphy McCallum is now sure the lost treasure Belmore Manor exists. We are trying to find the location, which is known only by the ghosts. Only way to find them is to summon the ghosts and ask them. Find the treasures to summon the ghosts and ask them. So we need to collect 7 ingredients on the manuscript, place them inside the Gree-Gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. We've collected 2 so far.
It was a small leather pouch I'd marked off
In the last episode. We got the coffin nails, which were from the demo, and the rum, which was... I don't know if that was from the demo. I forgot to go back and look at the demo video. Trying to remember which of these were not in the original plan for the game. I'm actually going to pause right now and go check that. Okay, I went back and double checked. So the original 5 ingredients were the nails, the chalk, the feathers, the rum, and the gunpowder. So the new items are the bone fragment and the silver coin. Now, in the demo, I believe the feathers, the gunpowder, and the rum were already collected, and you had to get the coffin nails and the chalk. The chalk was on the pool table inside the captain's, whatever you call it, captain's club. And we obviously remembered how to get the coffin nails. We've already found the rum. So, pretty much everything except for the chalk is new stuff for us. So, let's go ahead and continue the game here. So, one thing that I did notice, before we actually check out this fort area, one thing I did notice was the horseshoe here when I was going back and looking at my demo video. I didn't watch the whole thing, I just kind of scrolled through it a bit there.
Ouch! So much for good luck.
And let's go ahead and pick that guy up.
I picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. It was heavy, as the bump on my head attested.
Which I'm pretty sure was what we needed to use to make the fish heavy.
With the ripped seam as an opening, I placed the horseshoe inside the taxidermy fish. Now it was heavy.
Excellent. And did we need to like sew it shut?
The taxidermied fish was far beyond my... It was a taxidermied fish now concealing a heavy iron horseshoe inside.
Maybe not, I don't remember. Let's go ahead and try that out. This isn't where we want it to be, is it? I want it to be over here. Nope, that's not it either. Here we are.
The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave well enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Well, let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paperclips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead, a water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, how could I pass it up?
Okay. Spoke to Dr. Moray. No luck fishing?
No luck fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pencosa fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
How do you catch a Pencosa fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the captain's club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Okay.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
All right, let's use the fish on the hook, on the scale.
Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Squibb's record.
Squib?
Jebediah Squibb, the Cajun catcher he calls himself. Last week at the dead of the docks, Squibb caught the heaviest pincosa on record. Got his photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything.
McAllen,
That's right, we need the picture.
how does it feel to have decimated the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking the questions here. Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast. Its fins strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
It was more one-on-one. Mono, fisho?
You wrestled a fish?
And I won.
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as it keeps Squibb quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
Fish story.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch, I'll be firing up the grill. You're invited to join me, of course.
Well, thank you. All right, we got ourselves the knife, I think. Yep. Cool. So we have a knife. All right, let's head back up here to the newspaper. Give her
Murphy,
a copy.
have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you. Hey, those cost money, you know.
But it has my photograph on it.
The Do Not Serve board down at Spinelli's bar has my photograph on it, but that doesn't mean I can just pick it up and walk out with it, does it?
All right, do you want our little bit of loose change?
I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
Nice
I
cheap
picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better.
A newcomer breaks fishing record. Last week's record-breaking catch of the Pencosa fish by local fisherman Jebediah Squibb has been rapidly smashed by a newcomer on the island, State Auditor Murphy McAllen. Squibb managed to catch the heaviest Pencosa fish since records began nearly 8 decades ago, but it proved no match to the vagrant newcomer. The face dribbling with naivety, my goodness, I can't read that word. Naivety, my goodness. Simplicity and bewilderment, Murphy McAllen struggled to find the words to communicate his unlikely accomplishment. Was it beginner's luck? Foul play? Whatever it was, we can be confident it wasn't fishing prowess. It's interesting it continues directly up here, even though we can't see the bottom half of the newspaper. As Murphy McAllen looks the type more likely to be at the hook end of a rod than the handle. Murphy McCarran. Wait a second. Murphy McLean. Okay, she changed our last name every time. It's Murphy McAllen, Murphy McLean, Murphy McCarran, Murphy McCollough. I wonder if that's something we're supposed to catch here. And is sure to provide amusement for us all. We wish him well on his investigation here, but how long will his record last?
The headline read, "Island Newcomer Breaks Fishing Record," with my photograph printed in black and white. The headline read,
Okay. Excellent. got ourselves a newspaper, which we can now cut out the picture.
Carefully, I cut my photograph out of the newspaper. It was the photograph of myself I'd cut out of the newspaper. I wish I'd posed better.
Alright. Well, we got ourselves a photograph. Now I need to remember how to get the fishing license. I think it was back at the Spirit Queen in this Deckmaster building here.
The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it.
Bare hands. What about the jack?
That didn't work.
Okay. Try the poker?
With a bit of elbow grease, I levered up the window frame.
Yes. Excellent.
Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spiderwebs, and to top it, one thing lay undisturbed, a small folded document which I picked up, along with an inadvertent 8-legged companion. Ugh. Ghost stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps.
All right. So our fisher captain's license, not fishing license. Perfect. Maybe I should read it before I counterfeit it. The undersigned inspector for that state of Louisiana certifies that Cornelius Knott, having been by them this day duly examined, touching his qualifications as a captain of a steamboat, suitable and safe person to be entrusted with the power and duties of captaincy, license him to act as such for 5 years from this date on all navigable waterways of the state of Louisiana. As such, the above named does solemnly swear that he will faithfully and honestly, according to his best skill and judgment, without concealment or reservation, perform all the duties required of him as a captain, by the Act of Congress approved June 9th, 1910, given under my hand this 3rd day of March, 1923. B. Buttersworth. Okay. I wonder if the serial number has any significance to anything. So Cornelius Knott.
I was going to need something adhesive to stick it in with.
Of course we do. Do we have anything that fits that description? The magnet, maybe?
That didn't work.
No. Okay.
The shack's window was open, but the interior was largely unimpressive and covered in spiderwebs.
Okay, now the knife I think we can use to open the sack. Pretty sure I remember that as well. At the very least I remember trying.
I cut into the sack with the knife, revealing it to be full of corn.
Full of corn.
I took the corn from the sack. It was a handful of dried corn. I already had some corn.
Dried corn. Interesting. Okay, we got ourselves a nice big fat inventory here, which is very nice in an adventure game. Alright, let's go back to what we were originally planning to do, which was check out this here fort at night. See what I did there? Fortnite. Okay. So we've got a walkway, back to the walkway. Lock?
I jiggled the gate, but it wasn't going to open. If pirates and the colonial powers of Western Europe weren't able to get into the fort uninvited, I wasn't about to either. The cat was staring at the lantern, mesmerized by the light. Here, kitty kitty. It was no use. That cat was clearly more entranced by shiny things than the stranger outside the gate.
Can we use the brooch to, like, reflect the light?
With the newly polished brooch gleaming, I angled it towards the lantern, catching the light and reflecting a red beam on the wall.
Yeah. Ooh. Gunpowder. Ooh, that's the gunpowder we needed.
It was the gunpowder barrel the cat had knocked over, now spilling out its contents onto the cold stone floor.
Excellent.
I took a handful of the spilled gunpowder.
We need to add that to the bag.
I placed the gunpowder into...
Excellent. Oh, that was easier than I was expecting. Alright, so what are we still missing? We need the chalk, the feathers, bone, and the coin. Alright, well, I guess we're not going to get to explore the rest of the fort, unfortunately.
The coat of arms depicted 4 lions surrounding a central flower, topped by a medieval tower. A coat of arms was carved... I couldn't get to the staircase while the gate was locked.
Maybe we'll be able to explore this area later, unless we can maybe pick the lock.
The augur would have been lucky to make a scratch on the bulky lock. The gate was too well set into the thick stone walls to be dislodged with the screwjack.
Okay. Guess not. Well, it's alright. We accomplished something. What about maybe the magnet? Or the poker?
The metal gate was far too
Okay. Well, maybe need to come back here later at some point, but let's move on. Alright, so what do we still need? I need to find some adhesive. Have we been to the mill already? Oh, should we offer the corn to the chicken?
I scattered the corn on the path. Mere seconds later, it attracted the attention of the curious chicken.
Okay. Can we catch the chicken now?
I was glad nobody had seen that. I may have known how to handle a chicken drumstick, but wrestling the living version was altogether different.
Okay, how about the coop? Is there an
Now
egg
that
or
the
something?
chicken was enjoying the fresh air, there was nothing of interest in the chicken coop.
Oh, okay, so we need to catch the chicken somehow.
I'd seen
lasso
cowboys lassoing cattle at the summer rodeo before, but trying to do the same with parcel twine and a chicken would have been ridiculous.
Smack it on the head with the...
I may have needed feathers,
poker.
but I didn't want to hurt the chicken to get them.
Oh, feathers. We're trying to get the feather. Wait, this is black feathers. Those are clearly white feathers. The ink?
If the chicken didn't want me to touch it, perhaps a blast of air could do the trick.
Aha. Excellent. Alright, we got us some white chicken feathers. Which I know how to fix this already. We need to go back to town. And up in here.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open.
Got the ink canister, so we just need to dip the feathers in the ink canister, I'm guessing.
Delicately, I dipped the feathers into the canister of ink. When they emerged, they were dyed jet black.
Sweet. Black feathers.
I placed the feathers into the gree-gree.
Alright, that leaves the bone, the chalk, and the silver coin. Is there any kind of glue around here? What What if we use this with the printing
I
press?
couldn't.
Yes?
Hi. I've
Big
got a story for you. A big one. There are rum runners at the old church.
Keep your voice down, Motormouth. Do you want us to end up in the obituaries?
I thought you wanted a real scoop for the Gazette.
I do, just not one that gets me on the wrong side of the mob in the process. Pigeon elected mayor, cow does the high jump. Those are the types of stories that get eyes on the front pages.
But I thought journalists had a duty towards truth, justice, and society.
Where'd you get that poppycock idea? My duty is towards the circulation numbers. And while I'd love a shocker of a story, I'd rather not become the story, if you catch my drift.
We already got our photograph taken. Do you know?
Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak at the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive.
Don't call me Shirley.
Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And
Okay.
hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths, too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here. I
Okay.
think I better be going.
I've got my eye on you, McAllen.
There was no way I was going to get past the newspaper editor to get it. Besides, I didn't know how to operate it.
Hey, you can't come back here.
Sorry.
Okay, we need to get rid of her if we're gonna look in those files. Okay, so what do we need to do here? Let's say Bloom canned beef.
The billboard poster was peeling away to reveal layers of advertisements underneath, like some sort of consumeristic onion. Good evening, Ned.
Hello again, Mac.
I spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of The Pirates of Penzance. And that's because all the rest of the cast dropped out rather than work with him. He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he found it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
So he ran the... Was that the puppet theater?
The puppet show hadn't started.
Maybe not. Go back in here to the jewelers.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
I think I'll just...
I'm here if...
So we need some kind of glue. Back to the beach, maybe? Is there anything here? Just the tide pools. Okay. Is there any glue around here? On the ship, maybe? Obviously, we had some in the demo.
You've returned. Have you found all the...
Not yet. How did you learn voodoo?
I have always been adept with the mystic arts. Just as you dream of treasure, Murphy, I dream of power. I came to Devil's Rock many years ago, drawn by its voodoo energy, and no sooner than I arrived, the spirit realm began to reveal itself to me, pleading for me to be its master.
What's this riverboat we're aboard?
This is the Spirit Queen. It used to be a pleasure boat, ply on the rivers around the island. A den of drinking and gambling. That's how I came to own the boat. A lucky game of chance. But between you and me, Murphy, it's a lot easier to win when you have spirits to control the roll of the dice.
It sounds like you cheated.
Fate was always gonna bring this boat to me. I just hurried it along.
Sounds like cheating to me.
Do you keep an alligator as a pet?
That's right. My dear old Mephistopheles. Blind as a bat, but with the smell of a bloodhound. Good thing he's chained up safely in the boiler room.
No, he isn't. He was out on the jetty when I was trying to get aboard.
Where is he now?
Swimming in the bayou.
Oh dear, not again.
I'm going to go and find...
Alright, so there's nothing we can't look around in there for anything. Is there any other thing we have that would be something we could use as adhesive? I don't think so. There's nothing else to explore on the ship either. Do we want any more corn? Can we get more corn?
There was nothing else I could...
No. Alright. Alright, so we've done everything we can here for the moment. There's nothing else here. Nothing else here. The church... Look inside the car?
The jalopy door. How ironic that the rum runners would take care not to be the target of criminality.
Can we open the church
Wandering
door?
happily into the hideout of a pair of mobsters wasn't going to be a smart move.
If we use the car horn. Hide back here.
I couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob. Whoever sealed this up intended to seal it.
Okay.
Embedded into the stony hillside was a large, intricately carved...
Geometric pattern. Don't see anything. Try this horn again. What if we're supposed to like get them to come outside and then sneak in or
I could
something?
see the shadows of the rum runners moving around inside the church, but I didn't want to get too close in case they saw me too.
Maybe we don't need to get them outside?
The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls.
Okay, is there anything else around here? Stove.
I didn't need to warm my hands on the stove. It was already a humid night, and the fire was more useful at keeping bugs away from the shack than keeping anyone toasty. Hello, Edgar.
Yeah!
Do you know there are a couple of gentlemen up by the church?
Rum runners, they are. Dealing with them is not in my job description. As long as they don't mix up the stiffs I'm burying with the stiff drinks they're smuggling, I'm keeping my nose out. Curiosity killed the cat, you know, and I really miss Mittens.
Poor Mittens.
Who is it you're burying?
This is Theodore Grimes. He was the...
Comptroller for Juniper Parish?
That's right. You knew him?
We were supposed to have a meeting. Clearly he's going to miss it.
Sure is. Now he's the late Comptroller Grimes.
Did you make this coffin?
I sure did. But this is no more than a pauper's coffin by anyone's standards. The finest the parish pension can buy. Lock them in lumber, leave them to slumber, that's what I say. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Okay.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
So this was Comptroller Grimes, the man I was supposed to meet for my lodging, stipend, and authority papers. Something told me he didn't have them on him. Now that I'd looked upon the lifeless face of Comptroller Grimes, it didn't feel appropriate to give his coffin a wiggle.
Okay. Not missing anything else around here, am I? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. It's nothing else at the church. Alright, let's go back to the mill. Did we already go inside here? I feel like we did, but I don't remember. Try this door up here.
I tried the door, but it was locked. I couldn't do... I didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since Old Lady Malloy's German Shepherd got loose on my 10th birthday. The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I wasn't in need of any 2x4s. The hatches were locked. The beam looked to be driven by the water wheel outside. From the multitude of wires fanning out from the top, it was presumably hooked up to a generator.
Water wheel outside, huh?
The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated the need for a tetanus shot. Despite its obvious age, the water wheel was still turning. I couldn't get near it, and that was probably a good thing if I didn't want to get dragged under by the current.
Okay. Alright, what do we have? So we need bone fragment, silver coin, and chalk.
It was a dime, the last money I had left to my name.
Is it a silver dime?
I placed the dime into the gree-gree. That would work as the silver coin.
Okay. It was a silver coin. That was remarkably easy. So we're just missing the chalk and the bone fragment now. Okay. I know where to get the chalk. Just don't remember how. Because we need a way to glue... glue the picture to the passport. Can we go back inside the house? Or is it going to be sealed up now?
I went to open the door into Belmore Manor, but the key was gone. I was sure I'd left it in the lock. From the outside, looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree. A hanged skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull seemingly watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride.
Dude's just been hanging here for like 80 years. Nobody cut him down or anything. That's kind of creepy. I'm guessing that's the bone.
The skeleton
fragment we
hung
need.
high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground, I felt disturbingly close to it. The stark trunk of the tree didn't offer any possibility of climbing it.
We need to throw
That
something.
wasn't going to... That didn't work. I didn't need to cut that. Nope. I needed... The twine would be more useful to me intact. I didn't.
So we need something to get the skeleton down.
A skeleton, clothed, glinting. The skeleton hung high up in the even from down on the ground.
Oh, okay. What do we got over here? A wheel.
The wheel was too heavy to move. I couldn't do that. An old carriage wheel sat discarded in the grass. The handle turned, but the door was restrained by the taut rope tied to it. From its other end dangled a heavy barrel full of molasses.
Cut the rope. Ah, molasses.
I touched the back of the photograph to the molasses. Thanks to the stickiness of the molasses, the photograph adhered nicely to the captain's license.
Perfect.
I wasn't going to touch the molasses with my bare hand. With the items I was borrowing across the island, some may have said I had sticky fingers, but this would have made it a little bit too literal.
Oh.
I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw.
Well, I guess that's our bone fragment, isn't it?
I placed the jawbone into the gree-gree.
Alright, I guess we don't need to get the skeleton down. At least not at the moment. So that just leaves the chalk, and we know where to get that. So let's head back this way. We're only at 36 minutes. We're really flying through this part. I mean, the silver coin was basically a freebie. The rum was kind of a freebie. The gunpowder was, I guess, not a freebie. If I hadn't figured out to polish the brooch, that might have taken me a little bit to figure out. The nails were free because we figured that out in the demo. And I guess kind of the same thing with the chalk, although we did have to earn our way in.
My credentials.
You're telling me you are a captain?
I trust it's all in order.
I thought you said your name was Murphy McCallan.
That's right.
Then why does this say Captain Knott?
It's a pseudonym for marketing purposes. You've got to stand out nowadays. A cool name's a good way to do that. You didn't think Captain Hook was called Hook before the hand incident, did you? What would the odds of that have been?
Look, Sonny, the bylaws of this club only allow the club manager to verify a captain's license. And Mr. Perkins is enjoying his backgammon soiree with Mrs. Perkins and the ladies this evening, with strict instructions not to be disturbed. So I'll accept this for tonight, but try this again tomorrow night and it'll be another story. Now, with that said, a warm and hearty welcome to the Captain's Club. We sincerely hope you make use of and enjoy our facilities, and do please let me know if I can be of any assistance at all. We don't open for another hour, but if you'd like, you can head up now to acquaint yourself.
Hello again, Felix.
Hello again, sir.
I quite like being out at sea. Ned told me he sells fish to you. What do you serve here?
Ned told me he sells fish to you. What do you serve here?
Captains.
Right, yes. I mean by way of food.
The Captain's Club serves a dazzling array of sea-sourced dishes, from our house special jambalaya to my personal favorite, Devil's Rock Pancosa, pan-seared with lobster slaw and citrus crawfish beer blanc. In all honesty, it's not very popular. Most of the clientele are absolutely sick of seafood by the time they get ashore. Just the sight of it makes them queasy.
How about drinks?
What about drinks?
Listen, if you're from the Prohibition Bureau, we've cleared all of that up with Officer Moe. Fines were paid, items changed hands, and now we're clear.
I'm not from any Prohibition Bureau.
Then forget I said anything. The Captain's Club is strictly teetotal, in line with federal law. Now, if certain members wish to bring in their own medicinals, then we're happy to provide the accompanying aids. Ice, tonic, mixers, and the like, but we serve no alcohol on the premises.
Officer Moe has been murdered.
Oh no, that's terrible! I only paid the bribe last Saturday. What if his replacement isn't so agreeable?
Who was Officer Mount?
I best be casting off.
Farewell, Captain.
Alright, there's our chalk.
I picked up the cube of billiard chalk from the edge of the table. I placed the chalk into the gree-gree. I'd done it. All 7 ingredients for the summoning spell. Now I needed to head back to the Spirit Queen.
Okay.
While I was trapped on Devil's Rock, a map of the world wasn't going to be much use to me. The cabinet was locked.
Can we break
The
in?
glass front would have shattered if I tried to force it open, and I didn't want to get kicked out of the Captain's Club so soon after getting in. The switch seemed to control the ceiling fans.
Is there something we
That
need to
wasn't
do
going
with
to
the
work.
fan?
I couldn't do that. That didn't work. The ceiling fans were off. The door was locked. The door was...
I'm just gonna turn those off. I don't know if there's a reason for that.
The cabinet was...
Cabinet's locked. Oh well. I guess we'll come back to that. But the important thing is that we completed the
At the center of the
ingredients.
manuscript was an empty circle with arrows pointing inward from each of the ingredients. It was marked the focus.
The focus. Get some fountain water.
I filled the bottle with water from the fountain.
Alright, back to the Spirit Queen.
I
Our
thought I'd
photographer
find you out
back.
here, McAllen.
Evelyn, lovely to see you out in the bayou again.
This will be the last time, McAllen. I'm not your secretary. I don't know what you're up to out here, but I'll figure it out soon enough. But for now, let's hurry it up. These shoes are alligator skin, and I don't want the local fauna recognizing an old friend. Another telegram came through for you, marked urgent. Kip said you might be out here.
My boss again?
Got it in one.
McAllen, report back immediately. Received word Grimes is deceased. Lack of resources has made this a waste of time. And I've cottoned onto your little stunt with the Friday signatures. When you get back here, sorting mail is gonna be the least of your worries. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. On a night when I'd just seen a ghost, this telegram was almost more unbelievable. There was more to the Belmore story than I could have ever imagined. Now I was being pulled away to a job I didn't want to work, and a life I didn't want to live. Maybe it was time to do something a little foolish. Do I still have that prepaid reply?
Sure do. What do you want it to say?
Tell him I quit. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I'd quit my job and opened the first chapter in my own adventure. But without a job, I didn't have a salary. Without a salary, I wouldn't have a place to live. And it suddenly became more important than ever that I find that treasure. for me this time.
Murphy, have you found all 7 ingredients?
I have.
Wonderful! Now it is time for the final step. Out of the darkness, the sadness, the fear, I command you, my servant, now to appear.
I have returned, Master. What is your desire?
The ingredients have been gathered. The final step of the spell is ready. The focus.
The focus of the spell is whatever you are casting it upon. Belmore Manor is where the ghosts reside. An image of Belmore Manor is what you must use to direct the spell.
Murphy, do you have an image of Belmore Manor we can use?
Yes. We have the magazine.
Yes, Murphy, that will work. Place it inside the gree-gree as the final ingredient.
I folded the magazine cover and placed it inside the gree-gree.
The spell is ready. Finally, the ghosts will be free again. Open the gree-gree, Murphy, and that will cast the spell.
With some
That's a bad
trepidation,
idea.
I took the gree-gree from my pocket and with a deep breath, opened it.
At last, I am free.
Servant, what's happening?
I was never your servant.
I am your master. You shall do my bidding. I command you.
Foolish mortal. You have served your purpose. No longer do I need to manifest as an ephemeral specter. Now my true spirit form is freed.
Loa, do as I say.
You are of no more use to me.
Ooh.
I wasn't sure what I'd just seen, but the voodoo fire raging all around me was all too real. I needed to get out, and fast.
Yep. Oh, good. I'm glad we got the bottle of water. Forgot all about that. Oh, it's... Oh, what's your face? Hello, Miss Belmore. Guess we're not leaving. And that, I believe, is the end of Act 1? Yeah. Part 2, The Love Antidote.
As I opened my eyes, I realized I had no idea where I was. Hello? Hello? This wasn't good. I checked my hands and still seemed to be flesh and blood. What's happening? Where am I?
Welcome back to Belmore Manor, Murphy McCallum. We didn't expect to see you again so soon.
What's going on? Am I dead?
Don't be so overdramatic, Murphy. You're still very much alive. But you're the only person in the house that is. I'm afraid your actions have caused a good bit of trouble for us inhabitants of the house.
What's happened?
Let's see if you can figure it out. We're about to play a song, and Murphy McAllen, this one is for you. All right, all you Belmore Manor ghosts and ghouls, let's take it to a place where voodoo rules. Foolish mortal, do you know what you've done? A house of spirits, but we know of one with evil intentions, and now no preventions to all their evil scheme. You're now implicated in this complicated supernatural dream. You cast the spell, now the deed is done. Evil's free, the plan has just begun. Without your detection, we'll have no protection from the Machiavellian game. You set them loose, so you have to deduce who is ill and who is to blame. And
Okay.
self-tested, we'll ask you questions 3. Draw on clues to solve the mystery. The lover, the pawn, the devil, oh God. Questions surrounded in doubt. The officer bride, the sailor all died, Murphy. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? The broken heart stolen by another. Tell us now who is the lover.
Oh. I think that the lover. Oh, I don't know. I think the bride is the pawn. Sailor's the
I think
lover.
the sailor was the lover.
Someone in love and their love is true. Is it return? What is there to do? They're caught in the middle of baffling riddles. Is love what can carry them through? A sunset life, no chance for dawn. Tell us now who is the one.
It's gonna be the bride.
I think the bride was the pawn.
A bride in love, but in some evil curse, immersed in voodoo and things perverse. She cannot protest, and her mind's not possessed. Are things that will only get worse. Wicked spirits in evil revel. Tell us now who is the devil.
It's gotta be the company's officer.
I think the officer was the devil.
A phantom figure who's now in control. Black magic powers got things he stole. But maybe it's set back, but he's gonna get back, and we're worried that most that it's gold.
We could be completely wrong about this, but that seems like the obvious direction the story was trying to set up for us.
Murphy, you listened and now you've done it. You took a gamble and you have won it. A bride in a spell and a sailor's farewell, and an officer pulling the strings.
Are you right?
Feel the voodoo, and yes, we know like you do. To fix it, we'll take some strange things. To test it, we asked you questions 3. You drew clues and solved the mystery.
All right, we got it right.
The bride and the sailor all died. Questions surrounded in doubt. The lover, the pawn, the devil all gone. Murphy, you figured say trick or treat, cause there's a goal to defeat. And Murphy, we hope that you do. Or guess what? You'll have to die have to die too.
That song was fire.
I was back in Belmore Manor, and although it was better than being dead, I didn't know what was awaiting me.
We solved the song. I wonder what would happen if we did it incorrectly. Anyway, we're coming up on time if we're not already there, so we're going to go ahead and save the game here and pick it up next time, exploring part 2 of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was really awesome. I love that musical number. I kind of want to go back and play it and select different options and see what happens if we got it wrong, but if I do that, I'll probably do it off camera. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, we'll pick it up next time, starting the second act of the game. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.